Hey guys, welcome back to Critical Condition episode 12. My name is Mario. I'll be your host for today. We have a very special guest once again here on the show. Carvin, how are you?
Yeah, very good, thanks Mario. Excited to be here, finally get to have an episode with Mitchell, and the audience can decide for themselves who's actually the better looking out of us two, because we've had that debate a bit.
Yeah, don't worry guys, this isn't my shadow, it's actually Carvin. Yes, I understand that how you could misinterpret, but it's all good.
So guys, welcome back. This is going to be a really fun episode. I really think you're going to enjoy it. God knows I am. At one point, I don't even think I'm going to be talking all that much, but hey, anyway, let's see what happens. So, Carvin, what's been new this week for you?
Not too much actually. Like, I've got 2 arms now, which is great. Last episode, I was still, dangling my arm around.
You must have been had the biggest blue balls after that.
Yeah, let's just say I'm not a lefty, but yeah, it was good. It was good. It is great to have both arms back. Driving again, back at work, actually being a functioning member of society now. So it's very nice to be back. But other than that, getting back to work and enjoying life. You kind of forget how good life is when you're sitting at home with a broken arm, which is fantastic. But how have you been, Mitch?
Yeah, pretty good actually. Yeah, I wasn't going to say this because last time we said it, we kind of jinxed it all, but grandfather's looking a lot better now, so hopefully he continues to mend. Other than that, I've just been playing Mass Effect.
Yeah,
which is right? Mass Effect is awesome, man. I like that they've patched it now and there's less bugs in the game, which is like a lot better for me. I'm not raging as much, wanting to throw my controller through the fucking screen. But other than that, just been working and just chilling pretty much. Yeah, so what have you got for us this week in gaming or movies?
Hey, hold on. Well, fuck you guys. Thanks for asking.
What was I doing? That's a bit awkward.
That's all good.
You know what? All I want to say is I finally platinum Horizon.
Hey.
I saw that in the group chat.
So let's all cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
No. Nicely done.
Fantastic.
And that was actually my 10th platinum of my lifetime on the PlayStation Network.
Drink. It's bad luck to drink, not drink.
Yeah, you're right. I platinum Horizon, amazing game.
Yeah.
My game of the year so far this year. I still have to finish all the other games like Neo, like Kingdom Hearts and Torment and Zelda, incidentally, which is probably what I'm going to be talking about later on today.
Yep.
But no, look, Horizon, dead set, amazing game, excellent story, just so good. But so anyway, Carl, what's that? Norwich City supporters?
Is it the fact that I'm wearing this?
Is it the fact that this mighty team just beat Barcelona?
That's right, guys. I'm very happy to announce that I'm a very happy man. I'm not married or anything, but my team...
Is that why you're happy?
That is the reason I'm happy. Other than having 2 arms, I have a team that just beat Barcelona. So, still 1 leg to go, but I'm hoping we can bring it home. And my team's the only team that's actually going somewhere in the Champions League, so I'm happy that I can...
It's not the middle leg that's going, is it?
He's such a funny guy. But to answer your question, which you were saying, I'm very underprepared this week.
That's okay, I think we're
But at the same time, I'm talking about The Last of Us.
Ooh.
Awesome game.
Which is... usually I would talk about a movie or something, but I just had to talk about this game.
You mean Last of Us 2, right?
Yeah, Last of Us 2, but because there's not too much on The Last of Us 2 out there at the moment, I wanted to kind of reflect on The Last of Us and, kind of... lead into the second game with what I know about it, which isn't much, because like I said, there isn't much out there at the moment. But The Last of Us, I know you've played it. I don't know, have you played that, Mario?
I have actually played Last of Us.
Which is unusual for Mario, considering he doesn't like zombie fucking games or anything.
True. He's very anti-zombie.
But see, the thing with Last of Us was very realistic.
Yes.
Yeah, which was a lot better than what Resident Evil was.
Yes.
Resident Evil was a bit cartoonish, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And The Last of Us was it was very engaging. The fact that it was very realistic. You'd be going around a corner and then all of a sudden there'd be a fucking zombie in your face and you'd shit yourself.
Exactly.
Motherfucking just unload a clip into him. That was awesome. I love that.
And that's the thing, like when I played it, a mate of mine told me about it one day and he was telling me about the story and I was like, man, that sounds... I was getting really excited about it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, I really want to play that. So I bought it the next day and played it. And you were right. You play it and you can kind of picture, as much as zombie games, you're like, yeah, we're not going to live in a post-apocalyptic world and... You know, but you play it and you're like, man, I can kind of imagine this happening.
Yeah.
And if it does, this is how it would go down.
Yeah.
And what's really interesting about The Last of Us is that the inspiration that they got for the clickers is that there's an actual insect in the world that a parasite, not an insect, a parasite that invades insects' brains, like namely snails, and makes them go all the way up to a tree to get the photosynthesis happening.
Okay.
And then it spreads, it
bursts
basically bursts, falls back on the ground, and then other insects get infected, and that's how it culminates. And so
it's almost alien-like.
They actually based it on something that, I mean,
actually happened.
Oh my god, it happens on insects. Realistically, not going to happen in humans, but. What if?
Yeah, that's kind of like...
That's what was really interesting about Last of Us.
That's kind of like where the vampire effect comes from, because there's a vampire bat that actually, like, struck someone in the neck, and that's where it kind of all come from that. So, the
scientific basis of that, that's pretty cool. I heard a bit about it, I don't know to that extent that you just spoke about, but that's really cool.
Yeah, Naughty Dog, man, when they make a game, they make it, and they go full on.
Yeah, which is what you really want from a game. You want them to actually go through research, natural phenomenon, not like
just make it as much as like a game like that is cool, where you kind of like, oh, this is never gonna happen. I'll just play it. When you're kind of playing and you're like, oh man, they've really thought about this. It kind of really brings another dynamic to it.
Yeah, it's kind of like with the Mass Effect Andromeda type of thing. Yeah, like you could actually see that happening because. Don't worry about Mario.
just move the table and break a few things.
Yeah, the bulldozer's here. He's fucking just destroying the table. But yeah, eventually we will go to Andromeda, and it'll be a matter of what if.
Yeah.
What if this happens? Excuse me. What if that happens? Sorry, guys. I do apologise. But yeah.
I'll at least try and lower the volume on that one.
But yeah, you know what I mean. Like I enjoy games where it's plausible for it to happen, but at the moment not very probable.
No, of course it's not probable, but you can picture it happening, and if it does happen, it would be the way the game has depicted it.
Yeah,
I think,
and that's awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah, I think as humans we like to explore and use our imagination. Yeah. So games like that where we can actually use our imagination and like think to the future, like, if this happens, this is what I'd do. Yeah. It kind of, games like that are awesome.
Yeah, exactly. And I think when you, like, as a human, when you're playing a game, as much as it's great to play a game that would never, never happen, you just like playing it like a zombie.
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah.
When you're playing a game where you're like, this is probably not going to happen, but if it did, this ship could go down like this.
Yeah.
You engage with it a lot more.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and Last of Us is just ripe with that type of scenario that puts you in the driving seat all the time. Like that opening scene that we can spoil, because I mean, seriously, guys, it's been many years.
You haven't played it yet.
4 years, is it?
Yeah, 2013.
Yeah,
for a long time.
Like that opening scene when you get introduced to the entire Last of Us world with Joel, the main protagonist, apart from Ellie that you later meet.
Yeah.
But when he's there and you initially play as his daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And the starting scene is that you're just exploring the environment and what at the time, even to this day, really photorealistic graphics.
Yeah.
Probably only surpassed again, by Horizon, but just exploring this environment, and you're like, what the hell? I'm playing a game with a little girl. Like, what the hell's going on? Then all of a sudden, this thing, you don't know what it is, banging on the balcony door, the sliding door. Sorry, the glass sliding door. Then she's running towards the father's room.
Right.
I don't know, the sadistic motherfucker.
You find that hilarious.
You find it hilarious. This little girl's really scared. Anyhow, and then you get into that whole scene that if you would like to continue.
Yeah, so basically, you see him and the daughter running out, basically, and she gets shot by a soldier.
By a soldier.
And
that gets the kill order.
Yes.
On his headset, going take him down.
Yeah, take him down. And because you start the game as her, you're kind of like, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, they're going to miss, or she's going to get wounded, and and she dies in Joel's arms, and you just sit there and you're like, holy crap. And you get emotionally attached to the game.
Yeah, which is what a lot of games now are lacking. The fact that you get there's no decent storyline. You've got no attachment to it. You've got no interest in it. You're just like, oh, okay, well, I just want to get to the end of the game and just fucking finish it. Just because I bought it, may as well finish it.
Yeah.
Which is kind of sad because you really want to get invested in a game. Which is why Murray got invested in Horizon, which is why I'm invested in Mass Effect
as well. Yeah.
I'm currently playing Persona, guys, and it is melting my face. I've said this before. It's melting. I haven't even told these guys what is actually happening in the game, but I've played it 8.5 hours now. Oh Lord, it is good. It just deals with social issues so well.
Yeah.
Like, okay, sometimes it's a bit cartoony, but you guys seriously have not experienced a Japanese role-playing game as deep as this freaking game.
Yeah.
So amazing. And I'll shut up about it because we're talking about The Last of Us 2.
But with me, I kind of just want to go through the storyline of most games and just get to the end of it.
Dude.
But with Mass Effect, I'm like, I go through and do all of the side quests in that planet just because I'm like, okay, I want to see what happens next. I want to see where this leads me, what this can do for me.
Yeah.
So,
and I think on that point, with The Last of Us, it's a very linear game, so you can't really explore much else.
Yeah.
But at
but
the
it's
same
still
time,
engaging.
It's engaging because the storyline is so in depth.
Yeah.
And it emotionally drags you in. So you're happy that it's linear because you actually want to find out the main storyline. You don't really care about anything else.
Yeah.
Which I found fascinating because so many people love the game, even though you can't do much else except for the storyline.
I reckon they should do a kind of Walking Dead game like The Last of Us.
Telltales?
No, like The Last of Us. If they do The Walking Dead like The Last of Us, but more of an open world game, that would be fucking awesome.
That would be really cool.
I think that they'd have so many people just buying it. If they do it as an exclusive for Xbox or PlayStation, they would, seriously, people would go out and buy that console just to play that game.
Definitely. And because zombies and post-apocalyptic societies are very big at the moment. For the last year or 2 years, to be honest.
I think it's probably because we're heading towards that way at the moment with the landscape as it is at the moment.
You know what I was going to say? Sony is banking all their chips into the zombie genre, though. They've got this current exclusive game. I am 95% sure it's an exclusive game called Days Gone. You actually mentioned the trailer last time, and I said, that's zombies, dude. Like, whatever. And it's not that I don't like the zombie genre. It's just
overdone. It's overdone.
No, you know what the problem that I have with the zombie genre is that it happened after I already experienced that with, as you mentioned, Resident Evil 1, 2, jump scares, whatnot, zombies, apocalypse. I was like, okay, I played Resident Evil 1, 2, 3. Amazing games. And then, I grew up. And I don't mean that in the sense that people are childish liking zombies. It's just that I experienced it before them.
Yeah.
And I went, this is so cool. And then when TV show came, I was like, I've seen this before. Because I saw it.
That's why The Last of Us is good, though. It's different. It's different.
It's a bit different. And it's a bit different. That's why I gave it a chance. A lot of people say it's the best game ever made. I don't agree with that fact. It's an amazing game, very emotionally engaging. like the opening scene that we've just talked
Yeah,
about
yeah,
is absolute. Like I remember the first time I actually watched that scene, a little bit of a knot came. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
you just killed the guy's daughter.
Yeah, he killed a little girl.
Yeah,
It's
especially
like-
when you start as a daughter.
Yeah.
That's the part
It
that
was
got
like,
me.
whoa.
You're walking around with her and suddenly she's dead.
Yeah.
You just don't expect that with a game.
Yeah, you don't. That was
But
bad.
even following on that, so later on with he has a girlfriend or partner, Tess, and
Ooh.
she helps him. So basically, in short, the story is he's a smuggler. Later on, he becomes a smuggler, and he's given a contract to smuggle a little girl, Ellie, who becomes the very main character. In the second game, she's actually meant to be the protagonist, based on what I've read. And he's meant to smuggle her to a group which is called the Fireflies, right? Which is a militia rebellion group against the normal order, I guess you could call them.
Yeah.
And he needs to smuggle her. So him and his partner go to smuggle her. So the partner even ends up dying in one of the scenes. And you get kind of attached to the partner and the fact that it's like this dynamic. He's got his daughter back in a way with Ellie, and he's got that conventional family in a very unconventional world.
Yep.
And then the partner dies, and you're like, what the? Like, what's going to happen? And
It is, you know what, looking back into the analysis that we're doing right now, like, I've never given this game too much credit, but, like, right now, talking about it, I'm like, you know what, you're making valid points that some of the people that I've spoken to about this game that I always criticize and say, hey, I don't think it's that good.
Yeah.
It's that good.
Yeah.
You
guys
are
because
changing my opinion as we're discussing it
because
right now. I'm like, you're right. I just take I play so many freaking games all the time that maybe I've seen like plot development and narrative that maybe surpasses The Last of Us, and that's why I'm a bit jaded by it.
But also think
you are right. Like putting it into context, I'm like, you know what? This is probably the first action game, because it is an action game.
Yeah.
It's not a survival horror.
I think it's an
action
action shooter. I'm pretty.
Okay.
Yeah. That's right.
But still, it's an entire genre on itself, and I am starting to get the point. I'm like, okay, you're right. Not a lot of games did this at that time, and
I think the reason why you didn't give it much credit is because you're kind of jaded by all the other zombie games that you've seen before. You're just like, I'm not going to fucking worry about this game as much because it's just another zombie game. I think that's what you've seen from it.
I did.
Before until you've realised, like, well, okay, maybe there is a bit more to it than because we're actually talking about the storyline now rather than the gameplay.
That's I think that the open, like when you just summarised it, that this is what his partner Tess dies. I'm like, shit, I forgot about that. Yeah, she does. And then when you meet that crazy guy in those that look like the suburbs.
Yes. Yeah.
Like that's an interesting part in the game as well.
Like Jerry or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, like you meet him. Yeah, you finally get to his garage because you've got all the clickers outside, and then all the clickers attack for some reason. I can't remember. But you're right. It does have a very strong narrative.
Yeah. Which is what a lot of games are lacking these days. They just stay with the mold. All right, well, this has been successful for 5 years, so fuck it. We'll just jump on the bandwagon and do this. And that's what happened with The Last of Us. Yeah. They kind of broke the mold, and that's why everyone's went crazy over it. Because they weren't just doing the same crap over again.
It has influenced games a lot.
It has quite a bit.
And one thing was, so throughout the story, it's not even just about the plot and how the plot was very strong. It was also about how the development of the relationships between the characters worked.
Yeah.
And there are not many games that would develop a relationship within a game, right?
Yeah.
So you had Ellie and you had Joel, and as the game went on, you saw that bond developing.
Yeah.
So Joel was very distant towards her because he was used to kind of being emotionally detached because
everyone dies. Yeah,
he lost Tess. Like he's like, I can't get emotionally attached.
Yeah,
gets emotionally attached. Like he didn't want to do it, but you see that Ellie's nature kind of brought him closer, and he became protective over her. And rather than her being,
yes,
he did.
Did he ever?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Like and rather than her being a contract. he was, really
Yeah.
invested in her actually getting through because she was.
It's almost like his daughter in the end, pretty much.
She was,
yeah.
and because she was infected. That's the
Yeah.
thing. So
Yeah.
he found out that she was infected.
Yeah.
But instead of being infected yesterday, she was infected a few weeks ago, which meant that she could be part of the vaccine
Yeah.
to cure the infected.
That's right, because at this point in time we didn't know whether she was totally immune.
Yes.
It was a fact that she did get bitten
Yes.
and she still hadn't turned. So this is why the Fireflies wanted her.
Yeah.
And this is why the Fireflies wanted to experiment on her.
Yeah.
Culminated obviously in the ending. Yes.
But see, that's that
Don't want
was,
to say too much. I know there's still probably a couple of viewers who haven't played it. You don't ruin everything for them, but
that's the thing. That's the one part of the thing that the game I didn't like about it, just because it kind of took from the Resident Evil franchise.
okay, which part?
The fact that she was bitten, she might be immune to it.
Right.
She's that's the one part I didn't like about
in
it.
the
'Cause-
Resident Evil movies then.
yeah,
Okay, because the games
Because
were.
the games weren't, but the movies were,
Yeah,
and that's
yeah,
kind of like I was like, that's a bit cliche.
Yeah.
Probably shouldn't have done that, but
but I mean, at
but
the
it's
end,
still yeah.
and they did do another kind of expansion of The Last of Us where they kind of go into because Joel gets very badly hurt in the first Last of Us.
Yes.
And she's like kind of on his deathbed kind of thing. So the expansion, I believe, Ellie's out there trying to find a cure for him, but then they also reflect upon a few months before she met Joel, and she's with her.
Shit, did you play this one?
I played a bit of it. Because a friend had it, but I didn't get to play the full.
Whoa,
Full thing.
version.
I don't I don't play DLC.
Yeah.
So
yeah, no,
now
neither do I.
you're talking about
Except
this and I'm
unless it's bloody Destiny.
Yeah, I remember you. Were
Oh my
He had
God.
every
As-
DLC that was possible.
I was
right?
going to say, as soon as he said I don't play DLC, I'm like, yeah, well, there's the one exception
Yeah.
is
You know, the
Destiny.
funny thing is, I didn't buy that DLC
Yes.
at all. No, okay, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so basically it was her and her best friend, and before they met Joel, and about them going through the world of the infected,
Yep.
and how they both got infected at the same time. And one of the last few scenes was that both of them were together crying, holding each other, kind of their last moments.
Yeah.
Which
They
was a
knew that-
very good way to kind of, I guess, I'm hoping they link that in with the new game.
Yeah.
Because they haven't really said too much. I mean, even the trailer is just.
I was going to say they probably do it in a trailer bit. They do a prologue and then go into the main game for the Last of Us 2. That's the way I perceive that they do it.
Yeah, and I'm very interested. I don't know what the story is going to be in the second game, and I'm very, very excited to see what it would be because they've done a fantastic job with the story in the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just going back to the breaking the mold thing.
Yeah.
Movie-wise, the way that 28 Days Later broke the mold, where they killed off all the protagonists.
We spoke
in it.
about this. Yes, yeah.
Just the way that they did that, where they just
Systematically went through them.
they killed them off one by one, and then you thought, okay, well, the last guy's going to survive, and then next thing you know, fuck, he's gone.
Yeah.
That's what I liked about it. It's
Yeah.
just like it wasn't all about the happy ending.
Yeah.
You don't need the happy ending all the time. Like seriously. Sometimes
I
you just,
don't know who I'm speaking to because he usually likes the happy ending.
I kind of want that happy ending.
I'm usually giving myself the happy ending, but but yeah, you guys
Is
know
that
what
why
I
you
mean.
have so many calluses in your hands?
No, my hands are good. I moisturise.
They're very smooth.
No, he's got the soft, supple
Yeah,
hands.
apparently I'm very soft, have supple hands, so
But yeah, you know what I mean. Like,
yeah.
That's 'cause
you
he's a doctor.
don't need the Dr. Carvin. He's like,
Carvin.
hello, my name is Dr. Carvin. I am here to
I have come here to smooth your
I
soul.
tell-
inspect your breasts.
I tell all my clients that I have soft hands. They care not for it, but I tell them anyway. So
Just in case there's a takeaway.
you never know.
Yeah, but okay, so back to the point that I was making. You don't always need the happy ending at the end of a movie.
Yeah, you're right. But on that point, it's the same with I don't know if you guys watched Game of Thrones. I know you do.
I do, yeah.
Yeah. So with Game of Thrones, that was the same thing. So there is no. I mean, you get attached to a character. Next moment,
no happy ending.
there is none, and they're dead. The next moment, you're like, well, who do I get? Who do I cling to?
Who do you invest in?
Exactly. And people were like, it's amazing, but at the same time, they were like, why do they keep dying? Which kept people intrigued.
But see, that's why I think that they brought back Jon Snow.
Yeah.
People are
There's
so
a story
invested.
element to that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
I don't know whether you guys read the books.
I've read the first one. I haven't read the others.
Okay, so
I'm not up to date.
you'll find out
We kind of
everything
get it.
later on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the reason why they brought back Jon Snow is because everybody enjoyed Jon Snow.
Yeah. Well, it gets to a point. Okay, if you're a hit TV show, people watch TV shows because they get attached to the characters.
Walking Dead, they will never kill off.
They
again.
can't.
Yeah,
They can't do it, right? Because,
because
as much as you can have the shock element and breaking the mold like you spoke about, people still want to have their favourite characters. You don't want to keep watching a show and be like, oh, well, he's going to be dead in the next episode, so what's the point?
yeah. Well, Daryl wasn't even in the original comic books.
Oh, okay.
They kind of threw him in there.
Yeah.
Then he became a cult favourite,
Yeah.
and they're like, well, fuck, we can't kill him off now, can we? Because people would just stop watching the show.
Yeah.
Which is true. If
It is true.
Daryl died, I'd be like, nah, fuck you.
If Daryl died, if Jon Snow died, I mean, to a certain extent, if Jon Snow died,
Yeah,
and even if Joel ended up dying in The Last of Us,
yeah,
you would kind of go, like, I spent the whole game,
Investing
building
my
that
time,
relationship,
yeah.
getting connected, and like, yes, Ellie's still alive, but, where do I stand with that? So, and you're right, it really did break the mold with that. Because you did lose characters that even if his daughter, Sarah, she died very early, but you started the game with her.
Yeah.
Tess, she was part of the whole plan to help Ellie, Joel smuggle Ellie to the Firefly. So things like that.
Yeah.
But you don't want it to get to the point where you're losing main characters left, right, and centre.
yeah.
So, to sort of finalize the segment,
Yeah.
we're pretty excited about Last of Us 2.
Very,
Yeah.
very excited.
And let me just end with this on this note that I've sort of just thought of. How amazing is a game that can make you go through the entire story as one protagonist, and then all of a sudden end it at the end. Now, I'm pretty sure all of us have played this game. It's made by Rockstar.
Are you talking about Red Dead?
Correct.
Yeah, of course you are.
Now, those bastards are masters
Yeah.
of their craft.
100%.
Because we're talking about The Last of Us, and Last of Us is an amazing game. But those bastards made us play through an entire game as John Marsden, and then at the end, slid the rug under us. And that was insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did well. They did well that. Because that's what I think. People like it when they're not expecting
And
what
they
comes up next.
are the masters.
Because that's games and movies are like. We're always expecting it. Like halfway through the movie, you're like, well, I know this is how this is going to end. And when it doesn't end the way that you think it's going to end is when you're like, okay, that's a fucking awesome movie because it had me all the way through and I'm like, okay, well, this is going to be like, meh.
Yeah. Well, we
And
were
then
talking
they
about
change
this
it.
before because I spoke about Get Out last time I was on the show.
Get out.
Get out of here.
Get out of town.
And, we were talking about this before that we should all go see it. And then Mitchell was like, yeah, I'll come. And I was teasing him a bit about him being shit scared of a horror movie. But he said that he was like, oh, it's going to be the same as every movie. And, he's got, and that's why I'm really hoping Get Out breaks that mold.
I'm hoping so too, but
Yeah, you're right. And but to that
I'm not
point,
expecting it.
You're not expecting it, and I think that's what keeps you intrigued about a movie and a game. And what to wrap up Last of Us because we've spoken about it quite a bit, which shows about how great a game it really was when you talk about it in depth. It was like playing. If you watch a movie and you could actually control the characters within that movie, that's probably the way I can wrap up Last of Us.
yeah.
It's basically a movie where you can control certain aspects of the movie, and you've got control of their main characters.
Definitely.
So great game. Can't wait for the second one. Can't wait for all of us to play it and have a review of it. But what is?
I'm thinking that we probably need to have a trilogy of this episode because we've up to about 30 odd minutes
Yeah.
right now with this just one.
Probably, but us three don't really get an opportunity to be on screen too often.
I don't mind having a trilogy. We can do it in a
Trilogy.
three part.
So with that in mind, me as a host for today, we're going to cut to a break.